Hello ladies and gentlemen, Trippy AK back again for another C++ tutorial. I know I promised a lot, like memory, loops, and our little function that we'll do with passing arrays through functions. First, we need to learn what a function is. Basically, a function is your most primitive building block. The main is a function, but then again, you could always go outside the main and code out there. Whoa, coding in outer space? Yeah, let's do it. So, there's a few things you need to know about functions. First, you have to have a data type, int, double, float, whatever, but the most basic and most important one that you're probably going to use a lot and just do stupid little calculations offhand or print out stuff out on the screen is called a void. Void is what it sounds like. Do nothing, really. So we're just going to make a very basic print function called void print. Basic enough. Parameters and then body. You don't need to return 0 because the void does nothing because you're not returning anything. Now if you were to see out, say, hey, what's up, and end that line, and then if we were to build and run, we have nothing. Well, the reason why we have nothing is because we didn't declare it. I mean, we made it, but we didn't declare it. The way you declare a variable is that you have to go into your main and you have to actually type out the name of your function, which I mean print, then parentheses, which would be your parameters. And then let's try one more time. Uh-oh, we got an error. Print was not declared in scope. Now, variables and functions, they have to be declared regardless. I mean, variables are a lot easier, while functions are a little bit different. A lot of programmers, or some programmers, like to just take their variables that they made and put them on top, and leave the main on bottom. Because what this is doing is that the computer is going and saying, oh, you made a function called void print. This is what it is, and when I hit the main and I see print, I'm going to know what exactly it is. It's kind of like making a grocery list and like, okay, in my list of groceries, I have these things. Now what are these things specifically? Aha. This is milk, and then something else would be butter and cookies and stuff like that. So we have to build and run. It has absolutely no problem, but by preference, I don't like this. I prefer my main menu to be on top. So the way around this obstacle is called prototyping a function. Now the way you prototype a function is you have the data type, then you have the name, and that's it. Literally, you just say, hey, by the way, there's this function that I named print. The data type is void. When you come across it in the main, go from the main and go to it, then come back and return 0. So if we do, yeah, there we go. Hey, what's up? Now that's really cool, but right now it's pretty boring. How about we interact with it a little bit? So right now we have a print statement, and what I want to do is say, hey, what's up, to my friend. So I'm just gonna make a variable called name, not namespace, name. Now I could do a few things. I could in my parameters have the name, say, well, first we have to include the string library. And have string name. Then once again, string name. Now, I might be going a little fast in the head, but basically, parameters are extra things that you have. I mean, right now we're using a string. You could have name or int x, y, z. Now, as I was saying, basically you could go ahead and have an integer value or anything such as. So, the way parameters work is that you have this thing, a variable, and it's going to say you're going to take a variable called string name, and then later on you're just going to assign it. So now, whenever this is going to come on by, it's going to see string name and it's going to wait for that input. Whoops. Well, there's two ways we could do this. We have string name where we could predefine the actual function. So if you want to be lame and want to put print quotations, say David, or your name, doesn't really matter. It's basically saying there's a function called void print that's going to take a variable that is a string called name. Whatever is within the quotations and in, well, parentheses and is there, assign that to name. So when we build and run, we have, hey, what's up, David? Now that's good for good practice and predefined bullshit like that, but it's a lot more fun if, sorry for the profanity, but I'm just saying, it's a lot more fun if you do things a little bit more dynamically, because hey, applications and software is all about interaction. Because what's good about a program if it just repetitively does the same thing when you have no input? I mean, how lame would it be if a calculator just did 2 plus 2? Well, no. What about what's the sine of pi over 2? That's 90 degrees. I mean, yeah, calculators could do that. So instead, we could do string name and then cn name. So now it's the same exact thing, but instead of predefining that string name and making it fixated, now it's waiting for me to enter my name, David, and it says, hey, what's up, David? Now you're thinking, oh, does it automatically go to the print name? Not necessarily. If I go back in my main and see out, enter name, bro, and if I end that line, it's going to do exactly as you see it. It's going to say enter name, bro, and then it's going to go to this function. It's going to jump to this function and say cn name, hey, what's up, and then the name. As you'll see, enter your name, bro. I am David. Hey, what's up, David? Seems legit. So that is all the fun of functions at the moment. Next tutorial, I promise you, we will make a basic calculator taking actual parameters. I mean, you've seen that you could do names, but I mean, you could have multiple parameters. And later on, when we do object-oriented programming, you're going to have a lot more fun with parameters, because parameters make everything goes around. So that is all for this tutorial. See you next time.